Did Flight 708 stall in midair because it was too heavy?
During our visit to Panama, we observed that West Caribbean didn't have very rigorous control over the checking of passengers' luggage and their weight.
If a plane is too heavy, it may not be able to fly at higher altitudes where the air is less dense. Pilots need to make these calculations carefully.
Un piloto sabe a qué altitud puede volar, revisando o estudiando.
The pilot knows at what altitude he can fly by studying the aircraft's performance tables and inputting the plane's weight and the temperature.
La temperatura.
What investigators don't know is whether Captain Ospina did the math correctly.
Stand by.
They now try to calculate whether Flight 708 was too heavy to avoid stalling at 33,000 feet.
So we went back and looked at the number of passengers on board, the number of crew on board, and the weight of the aircraft itself, along with the baggage.
They already tested the plane at its reported weight of 148,000 pounds.
All right, let's add a few thousand pounds. We got heavier luggage, misweighed cargo.
Let's try 155,000 pounds.
Investigators now make the calculations for a plane that's grossly overweight. They're in for a surprise.
And even with a heavier aircraft at takeoff, the aircraft could maintain level flight at 330.
It's a setback for the investigation.
We're missing something.
Let's go back to the beginning.
After much research, investigators still can't figure out what caused the plane to stall.
Thanks.
The answer has to do with how a plane distributes power. When it's turned on, the anti-icing system draws energy from the engines, reducing power for thrust.
This decrease in thrust can affect the performance of the airplane depending on the weight and the altitude. So the performance study showed that the airplane was perfectly safe to fly at 33,000 feet with the anti-ice off.
Anti-ice on, please.
However, it could only fly as high as 31,900 feet with the anti-ice on.
It was the anti-icing.
Robbed them of the power they needed.
They shouldn't have gone higher than 31.9.
La conclusión a que llega el equipo de investigación.
We concluded that the aircraft was flown too high for its weight and the weather conditions it faced.
Las condiciones que tenía todo el vuelo.